Hello and welcome to HTM Ranked.
Oh, come on. You can put more enthusiasm than that.
What day is it?
You can't do this every podcast.
It's Friday? Oh gosh.
Well, technically it's Saturday because that's when people are going to be watching this.
Nothing's existed since Sunday.
Can you do a
Nothing
real
but
intro?
pain and misery.
Can you do a real intro?
Well, we kind of have to explain why you haven't put up a video all week.
You could.
Yeah, let's just roll with this. Tybalt's been sick.
Tybalt's been bleh.
Why are you doing this to me?
He hasn't.
Tybalt, you have to work
I
now.
want to sleep.
Tybalt's been sick.
Uh,
So, welcome to our third HTMcast. Look, 3 in a row. That's like a record for us.
We can count higher than Valve.
I know. Isn't it great?
Oh,
Oh, you stop moaning.
It doesn't stop. It just never stops.
No one cares.
Ignore him, Internet. He's being mopey.
All right, HTMcast. For those of you who don't know, this is a little podcast that we're doing every Saturday, hopefully. And we talk about news, mainly that's big things going on in League of Legends, as well as things going on in the outside world. There's 3 sections. There's News or I Feed, there's Tybalt's Forum Looking, and Hat's Derailing Now thing. That's the official title.
Derailing now thing? Where'd the now come from?
I added it in a second ago. Pay attention.
It's important they know when it happens.
But it's not happening now, it's happening later. So it's
I don't know. This seems a bit derailed right now.
right.
See, the best thing is, if you're talking about the title, you're actually derailing whatever conversation you're in. It's genius.
All right, so our first section, News or I Feed. This is where we talk about all of the new and interesting things going on in League of Legends.
Tybalt has to do the thing.
Huh?
Tybalt has to do the jingle thing.
News or I feed.
Close enough. All right. So this is where we talk about all the news going on, any new champions, reworks, patches. Thankfully, there's no patch notes because, oh my god, those take forever. This week, it's going to be really short and simple. There's only been 2 major things going on in League of Legends for us to really talk about. So we're going to start off with the first one. Last episode, we talked about Karma. They finally released the splash art. And this week, we're going to talk about her kit.
And the model they released with the splash art.
They had the model released last time.
Okay, I'm sorry. I forgot that there was a model.
I'm just specifying or clarifying for the viewers. But yes, new kit revealed.
Yeah,
What's it do?
it's right in front of you.
So, her passive is now called Gathering Fire, and damage from Karma's spells and basic attacks lowers her mantra's cooldown.
But
And now her mantra is like the key part of her kit. And the mantra is her ult. Assuming it still works how it does now, her mantra is something you have at level 1, and it empowers her abilities, and you only have a limited number of uses for them before they go on cooldown, and you have to use her normal abilities. But yeah, you trigger your mantra, and it activates an extra ability on your QWE. So her Q is now Inner Flame. It is a skill shot, deals magic damage, and it's apparently slows. And when you empower it, it's, I guess, name changed to Soul Flare. The damage is increased, and it leaves behind a slow, as an area of effect slow, and after a brief delay, it explodes for damage. So skill shot, and if you empower it, it leaves behind a secondary damage burst.
But wait, she doesn't have the cool passive anymore? That was my
No.
favorite part.
I know, the whole AP.
I have 1 HP left. Good luck killing me.
I kind of missed that too. Maybe we'll see it again. I don't know. It'd be nice, but I have to trust Riot at this point that they know what they're doing. But her next skill is her W, Focused Resolve. Just like before, it's a tether, but it's, I think, only enemy targeted now. It deals damage over time, and if it, I guess it's similar to LeBlanc's tether in that if it's unbroken after a while, the target's snared. And when you empower it, it deals bonus damage and it heals Karma for the duration of the tether. And then the last skill is Inspire, her E. It shields an ally and grants them a short speed boost. And when you empower it, enemies near the shielded ally are damaged, and nearby allies are also shielded and given the speed boost.
It's sounding a lot like now Karma is actually what she's supposed to be, where all of
A
her
support.
mantra empowered abilities are like their own ultimates unto themselves.
She's more of a support champion now, rather than whatever crazy healing mage she was before.
I should probably go ahead and state this since we forgot beforehand. This isn't even on the PvE yet, so highly tentative.
This is very subject to
Yeah.
change.
Once it's on the PvE, we'll talk more in depth about it and show images and stuff.
Yeah, those are her new skills as of one of Morello's recent posts. Or no, maybe not Morello. Scarizard? Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's him talking about
That's
it.
why they call her Skarma now.
So yeah, that's Karma's new skills as of this week.
Yeah.
It'll probably change tomorrow, so...
Tune in next time for a completely new skill set. It'll be a new addition to our show.
Karma.
Oh,
They're gonna be putting on the PvE soon, if I remember correctly.
you can level up her mantra now.
You.
Huh.
Yeah.
I was...
you couldn't.
I was
do
wrong
that
about that.
before.
Increases the effectiveness of her empowered skills. That's about it. I guess she can't level her skills to 6 anymore then?
That's good because they'll
Yeah.
scale more evenly now.
Which is what I think they were hoping to achieve.
I felt like that kind of made her unique though. But
Yeah.
It made
Aw.
her weaker to start and took her longer to get to her strong point. It wasn't necessary. It's cool in an idea, but it was really lame in practice.
Yeah, that's pretty much all that changes. Also, they confirmed that Sun Goddess and Sakura Karma are going to still be here with the new updated
Yeah,
look.
they're gonna make it. I think they're changing it to reflect her new look, but so don't expect it to be exactly the same. I wouldn't be surprised if they still made it different while having the same, theme to it.
I would have been surprised if they didn't remake those skins. It would have been dumb if they didn't.
Yeah, especially because she looks so different now. It's kind of hard to keep them the same.
They're still
Yeah.
hawking the fans, I presume.
Well, that's an important thing, like with a visual update, to update the skins too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes with a rework on top of that. Yeah, that's pretty much all there is to say about Karma. Looking forward to that.
Okay, so on to the probably much awaited topic for all of us and anyone else. Stop your sneezing. Stop. Try again.
Sorry.
New champion, guys.
Tybalt sneezes.
Well, this guy does
Overpowered, please
kind of look
nerf.
like something that would come out of
Okay,
your
okay,
nose.
okay. So, probably on the screen right now, if I edit this correctly, you'll probably be seeing, since we've last talked about this, there's been 5... What was that?
I just giggling at, Mishy doing something right in editing.
Hey! I would like to
Wow.
see you edit.
Uh-huh. Talk about the champion.
Okay, so there's been 5 sneak peeks that have been released since we've last talked about this. I'll have them going on the screen. But what we want to talk about 10 minutes before we started this, Zach's been revealed. I am so excited. He looks so cool, and I'm pretty sure he is the picture from Grumpy Monkey Sling. Like, if he's not, then
He has to
GG.
be.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Like, if you look at his face, I'm sure he is. They released a sneak peek as well as they revealed him today. They gave him all of the abilities, showed some gameplay footage, and he just looks fucking awesome.
Lore.
Yeah, Lore's there too.
It's like a complete reveal. Splash art, kit, and lore all in one.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
So,
So,
you want to talk
it
about
was-
his abilities?
Go for it.
All right. His passive is kind of like a Nivea's passive, where when he dies, he gets what, 4 blobs? Is it? Yeah, splits into 4 blobs, and then he can, if he, wait.
If the blobs don't die, you can kill the blobs separately. If the blobs don't die, he reforms.
Yeah, I guess any that survive, and the
It's
more
4
that survive,
blobs.
the
So
more.
let's assume each blob is a quarter of his health.
Yeah.
So each blob that survives, he reforms with that much health.
That's just an assumption, though. It might
That
be
is
Yeah.
more.
that is an assumption, but,
But yeah, he's kind of got that Anivia passive where if you don't do something about him when he's dead,
Except it has something else tacked onto it, too.
that it does. when you use any of his abilities, little blobs fall off of him, and if you collect them, you regain health.
His abilities also cost health.
Oh, that's a big thing to mention.
Yeah, he's health based. He's got no mana. So
Like Mordekaiser, Mundo, and Valdemir.
Voldemir?
Valdemir.
Is that a
Voldemort?
bear vampire?
You need to
So is
you need to go
Q.
just go lay down. Okay, on into his Q.
Stretching strike. Zack throws a two-handed
Yeah,
punch
way to just read from the screen.
that deals damage and slows targets in a line.
Are we talking like full-on One Piece Monkey D. Luffy punch here?
Yes. He reels back both his hands and shoots him forward and like
It's like he slaps them and they just end up in the middle of it.
That's what I immediately thought of. I was wondering why he was reminding me of something with that, but yeah.
He's so flubbery. I love it. I love that movie.
flubbery.
So skill shot punch with slow.
Is it skill shot?
Yes. It's
Well, I assume it
slows
is.
targets in a line. You have to point the line, don't you? Or maybe.
I am just assuming things here. It's not exactly clear.
We don't know anything.
He's not on the PvE yet,
We are
so
talking out of our buttholes.
we're pretty good at it. So on to his what's the letter after? We were on Q, right? W.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about his W.
Does
They didn't-
Zack have a butthole?
Stop.
It's that ball.
Focus.
Unstable matter. Zack's body explodes outward, dealing flat damage to surrounding enemies. Enemies struck also take damage based off their maximum health.
Ooh,
Ooh.
Well, that's a weird way to word it.
that is.
It's basically like Elise's Q, right? Her neurotoxin, flat damage, and then percentage damage.
Yeah, but at least
Except
Q
AoE.
is current health. This is AoE and maximum health. That is insane amounts of damage.
I just find the wording a bit weird how they did that. It's really cool though. Like I love percentage-based stuff like that.
Amumu's tears are actually maximum health-based damage if you want a comparison.
Yeah.
So on to his E, elastic slingshot.
Zack is immobilized as he charges up a dash towards the target location.
The range increases.
As he charges
yeah,
it.
that's pretty cool.
And then he flings himself towards the location, and it deals damage and stuns all nearby enemies upon landing.
The picture that we have showed looks really cool. I think it's the one of him jumping over Dragon's Wall.
Wait, does it do damage on the way, or is it just when he lands?
I would assume it's just when he lands, because he's technically.
Upon landing, that's the wording. Damaging and
Well, I
stunning
mean-
upon landing.
Yeah.
I kind of hope he does something, flinging himself. Unless it's like over.
I think
unless
it's
that
over.
kind of
I think
fling.
it's over. I think it's X-axis while they're not being, or Z-axis.
Okay, if
That
that's
thing
how
that
it is,
doesn't
never
exist.
mind.
But yeah.
Okay.
Let's
And
bounce.
finally,
Zack bounces into the air, immediately knocking up, slowing, and damaging nearby enemies. Once
Why are you so bad at this?
once
Come on, put some
airborne, he
enthusiasm.
bounces
Bounces
three
three
times,
times.
dealing damage with each impact.
So he just flubbers. He just flubbers.
so that's 4 total hits.
Pew pew. No,
Once
I
upon.
think it only
it's
does
only
the knock
three.
up and slow once, though. Yeah. He does the knock up
It's-
and slow with the original bounce, and then does damage
Okay,
with the other 3.
So it's the original thing, and then 3 bouts of damage.
Yeah.
Do you control each bounce? Or?
Wow,
Probably not.
there's no way to know.
It's gonna be interesting. That'd be just chaotic in the middle of the. Like, is he targetable during all this, or
I can't wait to get more information on him and try him out.
crazy?
So
Let's talk about my favorite part. Well, I guess I really like the lore, so that would probably be my favorite part. My other favorite part is he can jungle. Yay!
he's another weird, creepy jungler for you to play.
I'm so excited. I so dibs this. All of you LOL community, he's mine.
He even has like Fiddlestick's mouth going on, where it's like
He's
the
so
black
cool.
hole with teeth.
He's so cool looking. Look at him.
They also say he can top lane too.
Not sure if he's AP or AD though, but we're pretty sure he
I
scales off
imagine
of
it's-
health and health regen.
My guess is going to be health scaling and AP scaling, maybe secondary. I don't. He's too weird to be 80,
He'd be really strong if he was AD. AD have wonderful items right now.
Yeah, my guess is health and maybe some secondary AP scaling.
Well, reread over his abilities. Does it say physical or magical damage?
They only say damage.
Okay, then, yeah. That would have been the tip-off, but okay, then.
Not necessarily, but yeah, it would have been a
I'm
good
looking through
indicator.
it, but I'm not seeing much.
We'll have to wait until they tell us more.
Yeah. So,
Yes, jungler, top lane.
We'll let them read the lore for themselves.
I want to talk about it, though.
Yeah.
You know, all of the pictures that we've seen before this were like, oh, so he's probably Zon, he's probably a bad guy, blah, 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 blah. His lore is completely different than what either of us expected.
Just look at the guy, make up a guess about what you think kind of person and backstory he has, and then read the lore. You'll be very surprised.
He's a cool guy.
Do you guys want to talk about it?
Yeah, we can talk about it.
So, spoilers.
Pause the video. Go read the lore.
No, we can just talk about it now.
You
We'll
pause
link
it
to the
now, and now we talk about it, because they'll
Till-
unpause it when they're done reading.
That or they just close out
See,
of it.
they've already paused it, and now they've unpaused it, and this is the point where they've already read it. This is how time works.
We'll link the lore, read it whenever. We're going to talk about it now.
Yeah. So, go ahead, you do it.
What? Oh, okay.
I'm feeling lazy.
So, Zach is a part of the product of Zonite experiments, and his name comes from an abbreviated version of the Zon amorphous combatant. And he was designed to be this ultimate secret weapon flubber thing.
But then his parents, quote unquote, the scientists that made him, were like, you know what? This guy's too nice to be evil. So they took him and they raised him as their own.
And when they saw that he was super powerful, they raised him to have limits and know when to use his powers and when to use it for good instead of becoming evil.
He's essentially
'Cause when-
Superman.
When he was like a little small blob child thing, like he was actually had emotions, and he was like, you know, a child. He was friendly and enthusiastic, and you know, stuff you'd expect out of a normal child.
He's on Superman.
So they took him and they hid him that way he could have a normal childhood. But the laboratory found him and he was like, fuck
Nope.
this shit, and slapped him across the face. And yeah,
Now he's
Flubberly slapped him across the face.
he flubbered them. And you never want to be flubbered.
But he's actually like the coolest guy ever.
And his splashlight's pretty cool too.
Should I read the quote?
Go ahead.
I love the quote. Even if you don't have a spine, you still have to stand up for yourself.
I really do love the quote.
That's just... I was not expecting this from this champion. Like, he's actually a really cool guy.
What I feel is like he is Zon's answer to Garen, Darius, and Jace. Like, you had Garen, who's this tanky dude who kills everybody for Demacia, and Noxus was like, we need ourselves one of those. So they brought in Darius, who represented Noxus's ways of being tanky and killing everybody. And then Piltover was like, dudes, step aside, I'll show you how it's done. And Jace came in. And then Zonite
Chase and Vi.
and then Zonite was, the Zon was like, we need one of those. Let's just make one. And so they did.
It didn't go well for them, but now they have a cool superhero guy. Basically.
Is that it?
That's pretty
I
much
think
it.
that's it. Oh, we should probably, I want to mention the cool thing. Oh, I gotta find it. He's Hex Kim fueled.
Hex Chem. Is just, like, as in chemical.
Like, that just sounds so cool.
To
Doesn't
go
it?
along with Hex technology and Hex explosives.
Yeah, I was kind of mad about this guy at first, but
I'm so excited.
as always, Riot surprises me, and they're awesome.
They've been
so.
doing fantastic with the champions lately.
Mhm. No complaints whatsoever. 10 out of 10 would bang.
Why?
Kind of weird. That's kind of weird.
Alright, so let's go ahead and talk about a new, is it a journal entry?
Yeah, I guess that's what they're gonna call it now. Since they're not doing the Journal of Justice inside the LOL client anymore, they're kind of doing journal things on the forums now.
There's a new teaser quote from the perspective of Quinn and Valor. It follows Quinn and Valor as they
Sorry, let's go
as
ahead.
they travel. They go to Felyard first, and they talk with Ash, and then they talk to Sejuani next.
Is that Ash's like last name ever
Avasarin? How do you say that? Ava Rosen?
Averson. Averson?
I actually have no idea.
I never heard of that term. I don't know much about Ash or any of the Freljord tribes. Sorry.
But this hints at the third of the
What
trio.
it's going to be is this one that just came out is her talking to Ash. And then it leads on to the next one is going to be her talking to Sejuani. And that leads us to believe there will be a third one with her talking to the third princess, Lysandra, who is not yet in the league and will be possibly a future champion.
Exactly.
So maybe that's the next champion already. I can't believe they're already sneak peeking at it if that's so. We just
people found Lysandra's name in the PBE, so
yeah. But Zach just hit PBE, so I'm really surprised that they're already doing this.
maybe them finding it on the PBE sped it up or something. But it is just Ashes, and they have to come up with Sejuani's next, so
I wish they
won't
would
be a
stop
while.
this. Like the karma thing, we've been waiting so long since they dropped everything when it was first leaked. I'd rather them just wait so we're not sitting here waiting a month for Lysandra to finally get onto the PBE.
Dad hype. Please nerf.
So let's talk about some really awesome news. So how many of you people out there like ARAM?
I do. What's going on?
Do you like ARAM?
I love ARAM.
Do you like it a lot?
It's like my favorite thing.
What if I told you it was matchmaking now?
They did that?
Yeah.
They finally got it done?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You can go in and under PvP after Classic Dominion it says ARAM now. Now this is all in the PvE, so no idea when this is going to be live and how it's going to be. But there's some
people have been wanting an ARAM matchmaking queue for so long.
and finally you have it. But what if I told you with the new matchmaking for ARAM there was a new map?
By now.
A new map. And what if I told you it was gorgeous?
How gorgeous are we talking?
This gorgeous.
Link it.
I'm going to put it in the pictures.
Well, that doesn't help me now.
Go look it up yourself.
And what if I told you could get this for the low throw price of too bad it's free?
So there's a whole forum thread going on, thingamabob. They're showing off lots of different pictures from it. And
Oh, I found it. Oh my god. Oh my god.
I'm talking.
Sorry.
Okay, so anywho, along with all of the pretty gorgeous pictures that they've been adding on and showing different viewpoints, there's a bunch of concept art, which me being an artist and me being the editor, that means I have control of what goes into this video. So you'll get to see some of the concept arts, where most people probably won't care. I think they're cool. But yeah, lots of really pretty pictures. Now my only question about this is what's happening to Proving Grounds? It's not on there.
Well, maybe just Proving Grounds is the fun custom version, and this is the version they put a lot more work into balancing.
Perhaps. It looks very similar to Proving Grounds, though. It's even got the same bush placement, I think.
Same bush placement, and it looks like, yeah, the health relics. I can see the health relics.
Yep, the health relics are there. And they're getting their own new shopkeepers.
It's just a cleaner Proving Grounds, basically, but it's so fancy looking.
This is probably just to make it feel more legit, honestly.
And as a guess, an educated guess, people are saying that it's tying in from the journals. So this could very much be an Ash, Sejuani, Lysandra reference all in one.
Because it's all icy.
I was about to ask that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure that Bracknor, he's the one who announced it.
Brackar.
What?
Oh, it is Bracknar.
That is
I've been
totally
saying
an
his
N.
name wrong for years.
So Bracknor, when he
Wow.
announced it, he says, as you might have guessed from these mysterious journals, there's a lot more. Our story team would love to tell you, I guess, about Freljord, but for now you have to wait. So
Oh, this is so nice. They're
So this bridge is going to be lorically important?
I think so.
lorically,
Yeah,
like
that's the
with
coolest word
Twisted
ever.
Tree Line, is lorically important to
That's nice.
Shadow Isle. This
Yeah.
is nice.
That's a word now.
That's what I want now, because I want maps and the lore to matter in League of Legends again. Could you imagine like a
Look at
Zon
this.
map where you get sprayed with acid if you're not careful?
You can see the map that like on the ground, the picture, like the carvings of the mountain with the wind going through it. Do you see that?
Ooh. Right there, Misha. Down. Right there.
There's a.
Do you see it?
If you should look up. There's some stuff that's on the forum post that's a really, really far away view from it, and it's so cool.
What, really? Oh man, I have to look that after this.
Now, the way that this is going to work is when you get a random champion, you can get owned or free-to-play champions. Free-to-play champions are just as likely. Draft mode will still be available in custom games.
You can play the map however you want in custom, I think is what they're saying.
Okay.
But for matchmaking, you can only have the all random version, which is fine.
It's perfectly fine.
Also quoted, the current plan is to make it blind random so you won't see your opponents, end quote.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank God. Dodging is the only thing that ruins ARAM, and oh my God. I'm never going to play anything else ever again. I hope you guys realize.
So we'll have a lot of footage of this, apparently. We got 5 people. I wonder if we could... Oh, yeah.
Make ARAM just a normal thing for us. Brilliant.
ARAM Monday.
You might see some ARAM games in the future.
As soon as we can get a chance to play with this on the PvE, I'm not sure if it's on there currently, but probably at the time you're watching this, it'll probably be there. But
as of this very moment, the PvE is unavailable for me. But
and this is Friday.
All right, so that's pretty much it for LoL news, isn't it? In terms of champions.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I should probably go ahead and mention that I think Monday or Tuesday. What are you doing? Monday or Tuesday for?
It was Tuesday, March 19th. They're having an AMA on
I'm
Reddit.
sorry. Do you want to have your own section? No, I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about they're having a patch on live, and we're not sure what it's going to contain, but it's a pretty big patch, and the servers are going to be down for a while, so they're probably going to put, since we have all this information on Zach, I'm going to assume that he's going to be there, just not unlocked yet. I mean, we're halfway through the month, so.
Except he's not even on the PvE yet, so.
Yeah, that's true.
On March 19th, they're going to have an AMA on Reddit where you can ask the Riot guys anything you want about the new Karma, and they will answer it to the best of their ability. So be on the lookout for that.
And we might talk about
I mean, they're
some
not
of
going to
the...
be vague?
They probably will, but we'll probably talk about that then, depending on where it goes next time.
Next part.
Yep, on to Tilt's part. Do you have a jingle for your part?
Tybalt's Forum lurking.
You're so pathetic.
Tybalt's Forum lurking.
So what do you want to talk about first?
Why are you singing Power Rangers?
It's the first thing that came to my head. Not that one. That one. Well, no, wait. Yeah, not that one.
Tybalt.
So this is the part where Tybalt looks at the forum, but he doesn't actually read it.
So we look at the forums and we find red posts that are cool and interesting and people might want to know about.
And then we forget to tell you about them.
There's the first one I wanted to bring up today was the Pendragon one.
What, Pendragon? What is he doing?
No, it wasn't a Pendrakill, unfortunately. I would like to have one of those on this show at one point, but you know, this one was where he linked to the legal jibber jabber page where all of Riot's official stances on things are happening. Somebody asked for the exact place where Riot said that you can use LOL content in your YouTube videos and like make money off of that with ad revenue, because you know YouTube has some weird copyright claim shit going on right now, and so Pendragon just linked straight to that. We'll link to that. So, you know, if you want to make YouTube videos about LOL content and run ads on it, then, you know, you just need to show this to YouTube when they ask for if you have, you know, copyright claims or whatever.
Most of the time the videos go unnoticed, but it's nice to have in case you get to that point where they do ask you about it, because it's that one video that you don't answer and say that you have the ability to make money off of it, that you make quadrillions amount of money on it, but you don't even make it.
You get tens of thousands of views, but, you know, because it was under review for so long, you don't get money for any of that. Whatever. Next one. No, not that one.
I do approve of that, by the way. Every company should
the PAX
clearly put up their stance of YouTube and whatnot.
PAX East is happening in
apparently next weekend, which
March 22nd to 24th.
I would like to know.
In Boston, Massachusetts.
I want to go. Someone pay for me to go.
If you like League of Legends or any video games in general, you should probably go to PAX. But if you're specifically looking for League of Legends stuff, a lot of Rioters are going to be there.
I'm so jelly.
Morello specifically, Riot Montag, Cades, and some other rioters are all going to be there. So if you want to be like, hey, I want to go talk to some rioters, they're all going to be there.
Have they always been this involved in PAX?
I think so,
I
yes.
think it's the West, not as East, though.
We have to go sometime. We've never been to PAX.
I wanted to go this time. I didn't realize that it was coming up so quickly. I thought we had a while, but apparently
You got a plan.
apparently
months
we
in
have
ahead
6
for that.
days, 13 hours, 0 minutes, and 43 seconds, 42 seconds, 41 seconds, 40
I'm
seconds.
sure they're
Stop
sold
admitting.
out. They probably sold out like a year ago.
It's
no one
true.
knows.
So if you already have tickets to that, I guess, and you're going to go rioter hunting, then we're going to link you to a forum post that's really going to help you, where it has all the pictures of all the rioters that we have collected over the years. At the very top, it's got Trendemir and Rise and Morello, so you can recognize them when you see them, and pretty much all the other rioters that we've managed to find pictures of on the forums. Very useful, but as some writers have pointed out, some of these pictures are ridiculously old because even as powerful as the internet is, we're not perfect.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so if you just want to see what rioters look like, there you go.
Oh, I know that one. That's Morello.
The most unflattering picture in history. And then the final thing, the big featured discussion on the forums has been Light talking about champion selection, because right now champion selection kind of sucks. You get in, everyone's like mid or I feed,
Mid.
top or I
Mid.
feed, jungle or I feed, and it's never support or I feed, never that.
I'm gonna do that one time. I'm gonna get to game like support or I feed. and just see
I've
what
done it.
happens.
People's jaws drop. It's hilarious.
You have the one time you do it, that other guy's gonna be like, "But I want to support."
That's how you do it. That's how you get out of supporting. You call it so someone goes, no, I want to do it. So you go, fine, I'll reason with you and you can do it. And the background, you're just going, yes.
That's the most evil thing I have ever heard.
I have no problem with it.
But yeah.
I'm very happy to hear any talk about them. Like, it's a very hard thing to do. They're trying to get ideas from everybody, like even the community, for
PAX is a
ways of
convention,
fixing
right?
Champ Select.
Yes, Mishy, it's the Penny Arcade Expo.
I don't want to do it.
We're on to the next thing. Well, the problem is the forum post doesn't really say they're going to do anything about it. It just lists off the major 3 things that they've been suggested and why those don't really work.
The big one is like queuing for roles.
Yeah, like the WoW Dungeon Finder style of like, oh, choose if you want to be a tank or a mage, and you get thrown into the group. And
At first glance, this is really cool, but they go into detail about why that would not work.
And you also have to understand that it is a perfect system for WoW, and it's still awful, and people still hate it for WoW. So
Yeah.
it's really not as good of a system as it looks like on paper.
Wasn't one of the systems they said where it just, by your name, it put a list of things you're, like, in order of least best to greatest words?
Yeah, that would
You know what I'm talking about.
be fairly interesting.
It says, like, I'm best at mid, but I can also blank, blank, blank. And that, I think that'd be nice. It'd at least clarify things, like, quickly. Like, you can tell at a glance who wants what role.
And I feel like if the meta changes, they can just tweak it to where, if Riot's on top of things.
Well, unfortunately, the meta won't change if all the new players are introduced to the game via this system.
What's so bad about having a set meta, though?
Because then the game
Because it
stagnates
limits-
and dies.
Yeah.
Technically, you can get into a game, though, and you queue for mid, and you get mid, and then you pick mid, and you go top or something. It doesn't, like, completely lock you into the role.
The game stagnates and dies.
They have to be really careful about this. You have to understand. This is a very weird... Champ Select is going to be interesting to see if they do anything with it. I personally like the idea of just having something by your name that says, I'm best at this. Just that little bit of communication would save a lot of time for sure.
Yeah.
They also talked about the vote to kick feature. Like,
Oh,
if you have
yeah.
somebody in a champion selection that you don't like, you can agree with 3 of the other people and kick out the 5th person. But that's very abusable.
It's very abusable.
I played
but-
a lot of WoW, and that system was pretty shitty.
because the 4 guys could just pick on the last one.
Yeah.
That doesn't.
You have to support or we'll vote kick you.
Yeah.
But then again, if they're getting vote kicked, what's the worst
That
that could
will
go wrong?
would probably follow with you'll be locked out of matchmaking, like as if you had dodged. That would be the reasonable thing.
I don't know, if they just said vote to kick and you can immediately queue up, it would solve that problem.
Not really.
I mean, eventually you'd learn after the 5 groups kick you out. at
Yeah,
once.
you would eventually just, you know what, screw this, and you give up, and...
But there's always way around this system, and they have to be very careful about how they go
It
forward.
causes more problems than it solves. Which is...
But something has to change.
That is the only thing people can agree on. That Champion Select right now sucks, and it has to change. It's just no one can really agree on what it's supposed to change to.
But at least they're trying. They're talking with the community for ideas, and they're trying to come up with their own.
Everyone
And
accepts that it needs to change. It's just
I believe in
figuring
Riot.
out what it's supposed to be now.
Riot's very smart. There's times when I'm like, I don't know how they're gonna fix this, and then the next day I look on the forums and they fixed it in a completely awesome way. So it's just a matter
They'll
of
come
time.
up with something. Is that the last of your forum posts?
That it is.
Yes. That means we're moving on to hating trains, hating rails, like derailed. That's how...
Yeah, pretty much.
Um,
Let's just go with that one. That's my segment where I talk about stuff non-LoL related. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot this week. There's just 2 games I'd like to mention that are just sort of in development at the moment. DayZ. I think we've talked about this in the first episode, how it's getting its own standalone.
I don't know if we actually talked about it. I think there was
I-
so much going on with the PS4, we just didn't get to it.
I feel like I mentioned it somewhere. Regardless, there was footage of their new standalone thing, I guess, pretty early on in development, but it's at least nice to see that it's getting there. It looked a lot more better, thanks Self, than the Arma mod. I never, like I said, I think I said this. I never played DayZ, but it's always something I just sort of paid attention to because it looked like something I'd enjoy. So maybe that'll be a thing.
Play it vicariously by watching people on YouTube.
Pretty much. I mean, I got enough of it out of the DayZ boom that inevitably happened on YouTube. Yeah, that's a thing I'm sort of looking forward to, potentially. Thief 4, they were talking about Garrett's design, that Garrett being the main character. There's not a whole lot of news on it. It was just talking about making him look less goth or something, and then clarifying what that meant. It's just talking about character design, but I'm looking forward to any news about the Thief series.
Especially if they do a good revival of it, because I recall the later Thief games weren't as well liked.
I think people like Deadly Shadows. I think that's the most recent one. I don't recall people ever complaining about the games. I don't know. I could be totally wrong. I didn't play the originals, and I only played about half of Deadly Shadows, but I did like it. And I know people love this series to death, and it seems like they're promising to keep to what made the series great and what made Garrett great. So I'm looking for... This just means that Thief 4 news is starting to become more common, and you can follow that a bit more closely. So... SimCity.
We're not done talking about that yet.
Nope.
It's kind of like an update, really.
It's... A Maxis developer anonymously came out and said that single player has nothing to do with their servers. You can play without an internet connection just fine.
Can you?
Yes, sort of. A modder out there figured out a way of turning on debug mode in the game, and he turned off the checks for the server, that it would stop making those checks, and you could just play indefinitely. They actually posted on the EA forums, and they had to take them down because it was against their TOS.
Huh.
They're completely transparent about that. They made a Twitter post that said they had to take it down because of that reason. But they go on to say just move it into another forum, so that's weird. It's like it's like they're endorsing it without, endorsing it.
Well, they don't want to shut it down completely because that makes them look awful. Worse than they already look.
But yeah, the big thing out of this is just, yeah, they completely are lying. We're like, oh, but we need our server-side stuff to do all the calculations of the simulation and stuff. And it's like, the modders and the guy from Maxis himself came out and said, no, this is not true.
That means the game is going to be stupidly easier to pirate.
Yeah.
Because you don't need to be attached to the server to run all this stuff like we originally thought.
I'm not sure how it works. I'm probably going to be horrible at explaining it. But apparently the server only gets updates from... what was it? There's only a certain aspect of the game that the server is involved in, and I think it's part of The Sims telling you stuff or something. I'm not entirely sure. But basically it queues up messages to send back to you or something about your city. And that's the reason they disabled cheetah mode in the game. That's the highest speed of the simulation. They had to disable that because of all the things coming into the server and having to go back to the people playing. That was the big reason behind that. You two probably have no idea what I'm talking about, but SimCity fans will know what I'm talking about.
I zoned out 34 minutes ago.
Sorry.
That was the... Oh.
That's the entire length of what we're at right now.
Oh.
Moral of the story, you can play SimCity single player just fine, and they don't need your server, so EA is lying to your face.
More. They're lying to your
Yep.
face more.
And it sounds like Max is unhappy with this, too. It's not Max's fault, I don't think.
Just like it wasn't BioWare's fault for Mass Effect 3. Just like it wasn't Bloody-Blah's fault for that other game that EA ruined. And EA doesn't like its games. As much money as it puts into them, it just doesn't like them.
People are going to get fed up of it soon, and it's not going to be good for them, but... Yep, that's that. And then, I guess the last thing to talk about is Minecraft!
Oh, Minecraft! Woo!
They just released their 1.5, the Redstone update, I think they're calling it. I think that just came out either today or yesterday.
Isn't that what they've called, like, 10 updates already? The Redstone update.
It's a lot of updates.
Not really. I mean, this is like pure Redstone, though. Like, that's all they did with this one. I don't have a list of the stuff they put in it up. They have stuff like hoppers, which take items from one thing and move them to another. Basically, it's similar to the pipes of stuff like Buildcraft and Industrial Craft, if you played those mods. So you can move stuff between carts and chests and all this sort of cool stuff. And they have lots of redstone things like the new comparator redstone block. It looks like a repeater, but it takes two signals, compares them, and outputs something. It's very... I don't understand redstone at all, but that's a big thing for map makers and stuff. They also fixed so many redstone bugs. That was the biggest part of the patch, I think, is just them fixing their game so that modders don't have to pull their hair out using glitches just to get things to work. It's pretty crazy.
That should have been figured out with the official release of Minecraft.
I mean, it worked. The thing is, it worked. It's just had these weird eccentricities about them. Stuff like redstone behaving differently depending on which compass direction it was facing. Just weird things like that, but I think they have a lot of that fixed. They added a lot of things like the hoppers and minecart stuff, and daylight sensors, and a lot of the stuff is made with quartz, which is a new nether ore sort of thing you can find. And you can make fancy blocks out of the quartz for your decorations and stuff. A big update. Glad to see it. I might actually start playing Minecraft again. I think that'll be fun.
Maybe we could do a series on it, Cough.
Cough?
Yeah, we've been talking about starting up survival again because...
That thing we did 3 episodes of and then quit.
Yeah, see, maybe we can get some of the munchkins involved, so if you want to see us run around in dirt, I'm really bad at the game. I'm bad at combat is what my problem is in Minecraft. I see something and I go, ah!
They made the mobs a lot more fiercer too.
Great.
Stuff like skeletons shooting you faster the closer you are to them, and zombies getting tougher the more damage they take, and setting you on fire if they're on fire too. So the mobs are gonna be a nightmare now, probably.
I want to see another
yeah.
skeleton.
Riding a spoiler.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, skeletal riders. Yeah, biggest part of me wanting to play survival again is because I've never actually beaten the Ender Dragon, like, legitimately, like, a straight survival playthrough. So I'd need to get around to doing that. But yeah, that'll be fun.
We're gonna collect kitties. You should watch.
Also, ignoring the cats, Mojang has this new thing called Minecraft Realms. And from what I can tell, it's their own subscription-based server rental sort of thing. Where, according to what I'm reading, it's like probably going to be like a $10 to $15 a month thing to rent a server from them, and they'll have prepaid cards that let you do that. And it's supposed to be aimed more at like families and stuff, and just a really simple, easy service for people to have servers and whatnot.
Huh.
It's supposed to be aimed at families and stuff, and it's supposed to be easy to use. Like, it's not something personally like us three need. We can just run a LAN server and it's no big deal. But it's nice to see them having something like this for people who don't have that luxury. And yeah, it's kind of weird how they're doing things right now. Apparently, only a select number of randomly chosen accounts, like active accounts, were able to access Realms when they updated to the pre-release that had it. So that's kind of weird, but it's out there in some sort of beta form.
It's functioning, which is good enough for Minecraft.
So yeah, it's not something we'll need, but more of Mojang working with making the game easier to use is always appreciated. Yeah, it's currently in alpha testing, actually. They're hopeful that a beta can begin in May. They're also working on a version for the Minecraft Pocket Edition, but that's farther behind in development. Yeah, that's pretty much all I found this week. It's been pretty quiet.
So does that wrap it up for everything we have to talk about?
Can I go lie
believe
down?
No.
So.
Real quick, I just want to talk about our video being uploaded. I think we touched on it with Tybalt being sick. For those of you who are subscribed to us, we have had no videos out this week. I put one out Monday, and then it's just been Tybalt's been sick, and his parents are out of town, so we've been trying to do what we can to make sure that he's got everything he needs. So plus school and work, it's been really chaotic. But Monday we're gonna get back on schedule with uploading things, and we have tons of ranked games to put out. You don't even know. We have like 10 ranked games just waiting to be edited and uploaded. So if you're interested in watching us play ranked, keep a lookout for that on Monday. We'll have plenty of it.
It's just been a weird week.
Yeah, and catching up on stuff. I've had people buy my Temu hats, so I've been making those, and I'm making.
By the way, Mishi is selling Temu hats on Etsy.
Yeah, if you'd like to buy them. And I give you guys a sneak peek, not a sneak peek, but a sneak like here of what I'm working on. My next project.
A sneak here.
My next project is, hopefully this is going to go well, I'm going to be making my own Timbers plushie. So
That's not a sneak here, that's a total reveal.
No,
A sneak here would be like a bear from a particular video game.
Call League of Legends.
Damn it.
I'm making a stuffed animal that is fluffy and possibly themed with the video game.
Well, still, because only a handful of people will actually hear this. So, but yeah, if you're interested, I'll probably post a picture in one of the feature podcasts when I have it done, because I can't wait. But do you mind?
No.
Wow. I guess we should end it so Tybalt can go pass out
Yeah,
now.
so he can feel better, so we can play more ranked.
I said good day, HTM peoples.
Thanks for watching, guys. Tune in next week for more ramblings and things.
That thing you just listened to for half an hour, more of that.
Away to an outro. Bye-bye.
Bye, YouTube.
You're gonna groan for the people?
No.
Okay. Bye.